What a night we've had here on Monday Night Raw. We're continuing on here in LA, Los Angeles, California, with Triple Threat Intercontinental Championship Tournament action.
The following contest is an elimination match. Making her way to the ring from Riverside, California, Candice LeRae.
And Candice LeRae, California, born from Riverside. This Los Angeles crowd, rain and booze, you would think they'd be behind her. Home state kid, but they got some beef with Riverside, I guess. She is not over in LA. Maybe if we were in Riverside, she'd be getting some cheers, but obviously this triple threat match was going to be a singles match between Candice LeRae and Chelsea Green, but Chelsea Green not here tonight. Obviously due to the attack from Bianca Belair, putting her through an announcer's table. Obviously affecting Chelsea a little more than we assumed. Not here tonight to compete, so instead, General Manager William Regal inserting the two participants that were eliminated previously in Ivy Nile and Toni Storm.
And her opponents, first representing American Alpha from Knoxville, Tennessee, Ivy Nile.
Obviously, Ivy Nile eliminated last week by Dakota Kai, who advanced to the final at SummerSlam, along with Maylin Black, who won in the first matchup, who defeated Toni Storm, who will get another opportunity here to compete for the Women's Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam in Toronto. In this matchup, Candice LeRae is the only one to not be defeated in said matchup. With the elimination style, she will have no choice but to be defeated. Who will come out on top? Will it be Candice? Will it be Ivy Nile? Or will it be this woman? Timeless Toni Storm, baby.
And from Auckland, New Zealand, Toni Storm.
Toni Storm. What a win this would be. I mean, she had a hard-fought matchup, the first match. Obviously competing against Candice LeRae and the eventual winner of that match, Maylin Black. But that was an impressive match that they had a couple of weeks ago. Along with Ivy Nile and Dakota Kai. I mean, they had and I guess Chelsea Green for the, 6 minutes she was out there. Ivy Nile and Dakota. But on one hell of a contest between the two. Each of these women worthy of being Intercontinental Champion. Worthy of being in the matchup at SummerSlam, but only one. One of Candice, Ivy, and Toni, one of them, can go to Toronto and compete for that championship against Dakota and Maylin. Which one will it be in this elimination style triple threat contest? We find out next. And here we go. Triple threat elimination style, baby. Who's going to come out on top? Candice LeRae. Dropping Toni Storm. Single leg takedown or double leg takedown. Looking for Wicked Stepsister. Can she get it? She does! Wicked Stepsister right off the gate. Is Toni Storm going to be eliminated here off the rip? 1, 2. Ooh, Toni Storm nearly saw the end of her ride here. Very early on in this matchup, roundhouse kick from Ivy Nile. This match starting off quickly. Dragon Sleeper from Ivy Nile on Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae looking at, she taps! Candice LeRae eliminated very quickly here in our home state of California. My goodness, Ivy Nile taking care of business, choking out Candice LeRae. We're down to 2 already. Toni Storm, Ivy Nile. Which women will it be? Going to SummerSlam to compete for the Intercontinental Championship. Leg lock on the outside. You cannot win the match on the outside of the ring. But there are no countouts. You cannot get a rope break on the outside of the ring. You can inflict as much damage, as much punishment as possible to Toni Storm. while also keeping herself alive if things go wrong. As we are seeing inevitably, as Toni Storm throws Ivy Nile in front of the announcer's table here, now kicks to the gut. Now some boots to the face. Absolutely disrespectful of timeless Toni Storm. Maybe looking for a back. No! Sidewalk slam from Toni Storm, and she's showing off the muscles. The power of Toni Storm. You're not the only one who's got power, Ivy Nile. Yeah. Ivy Nile obviously with the power advantage over Toni Storm, but Toni Storm is no slouch for herself. She does her squats. She does her squats. She does her deadlifts. She throws Ivy Nile into the ring. And now trying to catch her breath, going around those steel steps, taking as much time as possible to retrieve her breath. As she goes back on the attack on Ivy Nile. Maybe she took too much time on the outside of the ring as Ivy Nile counters with a jaw breaker. Ivy Nile already eliminating Candice LeRae in this matchup. Elimination style. Catching Toni Storm! Oh my god! German suplex on the back of the neck of Toni Storm, getting a 2 count. Sweet, too sweet. Maybe going to the top? Nope. Ivy Nile. Okay, that was odd. Ivy Nile going to the outside of the ring, coming back in. And Toni Storm catches her with a delayed suplex, baby. Dropping Ivy Nile right on her back. And now dragging her to the middle of the ring. Ivy Nile looks to be in trouble here as Toni Storm goes on the attack, targeting that arm. She has no arm-based offense, so it's a little odd that she is targeting that arm. Targeting it nonetheless as Ivy Nile crawls away, trying to find a breath. As Toni Storm goes in that attack. Big strike to the back. Toni Storm locking in an ankle lock on Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile looks to be in trouble. Ivy Nile taps. Toni Storm is going to SummerSlam.
Here is your winner, Toni Storm.
Toni Storm gets Ivy Nile to submit with the ankle lock, securing her place in the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship in Toronto at SummerSlam. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, just in time for our main event. Indy Hartwell, Julia, here in Los Angeles, California. Obviously, this match came about earlier in the night when Candice LeRae went to complain to General Manager William Regal of how quickly she was eliminated and how unfair and unjust it was. Julia came in just at the right time to go over some things with their SummerSlam match. And now we're here with Indy against Julia.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Melbourne, Australia, Indy Hartwell.
Indy Hartwell talking a little smack to our main event challenger. Well, obviously is in the head of the champion, as you saw earlier in the night. Sophia looking a little rattled. Maybe the words of Shawn Michaels has finally hit. The magnitude of this matchup at SummerSlam means Sophia has beaten some tough challengers, has seen a lot of high stakes situations, but she has not seen anyone like this woman. The beautiful madness, Julia. And she will see this woman in full capacity in the main event of SummerSlam.
From Tokyo, Japan, Julia!
winning the Queen of the Ring tournament, securing her championship opportunity at SummerSlam. Obviously, Obafemi as well, winning King of the Ring, winning his opportunity against the inevitable champion, LA Knight, who has been holding on to that championship for quite a while. We can see brand new champions, brand new sets of champions in Obafemi, in Julia, ushering in a new era of Monday Night Raw. The question is, will that happen? As Julia is facing Indy Hartwell, nice tune-up match for the Beautiful Madness. Indy Hartwell, no slouch in the ring. More known as a tag team wrestler nowadays with Candice LeRae, but obviously Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, they want as much gold as possible. Candice LeRae trying to go for the Intercontinental Championship, unsuccessful earlier in the night, as Julia is opening with some open hand slaps and now some kicks to the midsection and just throwing the taller Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell having a power advantage over Julia, but that doesn't mean that Julia is at a disadvantage. Because, I mean, in other areas of her game, I would say Julia probably has the advantage everywhere else. Indy Hartwell, a former NXT Women's Champion, former NXT, I think she was NXT Tag Team Champions, former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, I believe. As Julia is taking full control of this matchup. She wins. I mean, a win is a win. You know, getting momentum towards your championship match means a lot. And if Julia can win this match, that'll put some momentum in her corner. As if she needs any. I mean, she's riding a huge wave of momentum, has beaten the best of the best here on Monday Night Raw, defeating Io Sky, defeating Charlotte Flair, defeating Dakota Kai, defeating Lyra Valkyria. Since arriving here on Monday Night Raw, as the referee is at a count of 2, and Indy Hartwell taking advantage of the outside of the ring, throwing Julia into the barricade, following up with a hesitation drop kick. But Julia not to be outdone, not to be an underdog here. Jawbreaker to Indy Hartwell, but Indy Hartwell counters the Irish Whip, and now Julia fights out of whatever Indy Hartwell had in mind in the back. And Julia throwing Indy back into the ring. As the referee reaches the count of 6, but both women are in the ring. The count means absolutely nothing now. As Julia Irish whips, pull back into a neck breaker. Beautiful. And she is admiring her handiwork. No one has had the champion quite as rattled as Julia. I mean, this is obviously a first-time matchup between the two women. The first time Sophia has seen a competitor quite like Julia. I mean, she has faced a hell of a list of women. Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Gigi Dolan, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Charlotte, you name it. She has competed against them. But none of them quite measure up to Julia, who matches Sophia in pretty much every category and aspect of professional wrestling in terms of in-ring stature. And it'll be an interesting matchup come SummerSlam in Sophia's backyard of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. No stranger competing in high-stakes matchups. I would say that's probably the only advantage that Sophia has over Julia. She has competed on these stages. She has competed at a SummerSlam. She's competed at a main event of WrestleMania. She's competed at a Royal Rumble. She's competed on these stages. Julia has not competed on these stages, obviously. She's competed in NXT takeovers, but a takeover is no SummerSlam. A takeover is no WrestleMania. Now, granted, Julia has competed in the finals of Queen of the Ring. I mean, that's a big stage nonetheless. But can she shine on one of the brightest of stages here in the WWE, the biggest party of the summer in SummerSlam, as Julia is taking full control of this matchup after a tornado DDT causing Indy Hartwell to roll out of the ring. Now Julia is on the pursuit as the referee is starting the count. But Indy Hartwell getting undazed and now going on the attack on Julia. Ooh, into a backbreaker. Power slam backbreaker almost. Julia is looking a little bit worse for wear. You don't want to get an injury before the matchup at SummerSlam. That would be detrimental. I doubt that Julia will back down. You know, if she gets injured, she won't back down from the challenge. She'll still compete, but that's something you don't want to walk into a match, especially against the champion. As the referee reaches the count of 6 and Julia going into that ring, she'll be satisfied with it by count of. A win is a win. According to Julia, a win is a win. Nonetheless, as Indy Hartwell breaks the count at 8, Irish whip Julia into the corner on Indy Hartwell now, just laying in some strikes and bouncing Indy Hartwell's head right off of that turnbuckle pad. And now targeting that leg of Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell having wrist surgery, having to relinquish her NXT Women's Championship, and now Julia setting up for the Glorious Buster. 1, 2, 3. Julia is victorious here in our main event.
Here is your winner, Julia.
Riding a huge wave of momentum here, going into her championship bout against the Women's World Champion, Sophia Everett. And as is speaking her into existence, here goes the champion right here with a championship shot to Julia. And now, trying to use every advantage that she can going into the match in 2 weeks, getting a steel chair, looking to do some damage to her challenger. But here comes Bianca Belair, coming to the aid of Julia, returning the favor that Julia paid to her when it came to Chelsea. Sophia looking to take every advantage against Julia, but not if Bianca has anything to say about it.